Magic players who may be enjoying Doctor Who, Universes Beyond Commander decks, maybe you're a fan of the Commander Masters Commander decks, or maybe you're looking forward to the Fallout Commander decks. But either way, you better be paying attention to these products because they are going to fail to attract continued reprints, which means these may be more valuable than you think. It's all about the almighty dollar, and Wizards of the Coast is not going to let you forget it. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here, and thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder that if you enjoyed today's content, think about subscribing to the channel, turning on your notification bells, new content every day of the week, and of course, every new subscriber is helping this channel get closer to its goal of 20,000 subscribers. We are only 470 subscribers away. I appreciate each and every one of you who've helped make this happen on the channel. I'm looking forward to the 20K party. We're almost there. Now let's get on to some serious stuff here. Right now, Doctor Who is selling very well. We know the Doctor Who Commander decks are going phenomenal. Things are going awesome. But there's something behind the scenes that's still happening that most people tend to have forgotten about. Stores are not reordering. They're still sticking true to their guns, and they're saying, I'm not reordering. I got burned too much. Too much junk on Amazon. The relationship is not mended. My pocketbook cannot take the hit. So whatever they order initially, that's all they get. The same for Lord of the Rings. The same for Fallout that's upcoming. If you don't pre-order, there probably won't be a restock for that particular store you're dealing with, depending on where you are. Some big stores I'm sure will have enough. But as you go along each one, it's the same kind of tale. Not reordering, not reordering. Whatever I have on the shelf, that's all I've got left. Okay, so take that scenario and then remember what Wizards of the Coast has stated in their conference call for the third quarter earnings. That they've got their inventories down about 20%. They've cleared out excess inventory. They're getting their management of inventory under control, and they want to get it back basically to pre-pandemic level, which means they're still knocking their 15-20% off. They want to manage their warehouses better. We know when the Warhammer 40k decks came out, the popularity was insane. It went through, I think, 4 or 5 printings I last heard, multiple reprints, but now it's at like your local Walmart, being discounted and sold off cheap because there's too much of it. Wizards doesn't want that anymore. They don't want to deal with this. They realize the players got burned. They don't care, but they realize it. Stores got burned. They don't care, but they realize it. So now they're going to try to manage it better by just not printing as much. Not as many reprints. Not just print to demand. They're not saying that. But when you're managing your inventory like this in a giant kind of warehouse type scene, you're not doing as much. You have a lot of space that is allocated to all different products. Magic's just one of them that Hasbro deals with. So when you know that, and you know they got to get their inventory levels down. They're not going through as many reprints also because stores aren't demanding it. Which means the demand is not coming from distribution. Which means distribution is not telling Hasbro we need more. So the money moves on. And they don't restock, and they don't reorder, and they don't get more. So all those players out there who don't buy the product, who say, I'm going to get to this later, I want to get the 4 Fallout decks like next year. I'll wait for an Amazon dump. Amazon dump, for some reason, doesn't come. Oh, I'll get the Commander Master decks when they go cheap, 30, 40% off 6-7 months from now. But they didn't have as many reprints, and there were no restocks, just the initial print run because the set basically collapsed in on itself. Other than a few of the popular individual Commander decks, didn't get a reprint. Stores didn't ask for it, didn't want to take the hit in case it didn't sell. Distribution didn't ask for it, so Hasbro didn't make it. Do you know what happens when there's no reprints coming your way? It's just whatever they initially make. We haven't had this situation in a while, and it may seem a little foreign to people. But your product goes up in money. And it becomes worth more cash because it's supply and demand. Those people who didn't buy it at the time and changed their mind, who now go looking for it, say, hey, how come I can't find these decks? I can't find the timey-wimey. Whoa, this thing's like $300 now? Why is this Commander deck so much? And this works in Wizards of the Coast's favor, by the way. The supply-demand issue definitely works in their favor. When things become scarce because they don't reprint as much of it, they now get that as a reprint equity, which they can put into other product lines. Reskinned or not, they have the opportunity to cash in the value of that particular item based on its scarcity and the demand of not overprinting. I think Wizards of the Coast will probably find a loophole to get around this at some point, but for now this will definitely work in their favor in the next 12 to 18 months, and they're not in a rush to fix anything. They're trying to manage everything and turn the company around to this new forward-thinking way of doing things. They're trying to turn around their losses. They got the crutch that's Wizards of the Coast, but they need another crutch over here. It's going to take them a while to build it. They only got one arm because they're holding on to a crutch. Chris Cox, he didn't go to any cocktail parties, guys. He's just sitting there going, how am I going to make this company money so I don't get fired? So now, when you see after another 12 to 18 months, things become a little more expensive, inflation's still going, these products don't get reprinted and players do start looking for some of them, not all of them, but some of them, they can either go the secret layer route, print individual cards. They can possibly do a reprinting late and just hold it at warehouse level, but do small SKU numbers of them, like just a pallet at a time of an entire whole deck series. It'll be curious to see how they play it out, but it's definitely a possibility that anyone who's holding these products, who didn't open them, you may see some returns on those products grow faster than anticipated. Just because of the fact Wizards of the Coast is trying to change how they're doing things, and that may accrue to your benefit as a person buying and holding on to these products. And that's something we've definitely not seen in a while. Are you telling me, Moxman, that if I hold these as sealed product, they could go up in value? This is an entertainment channel, but yeah, it is possible, I think, that some of these will gain value based on scarcity and the fact we already know they don't really want to reprint things right now, which is weird for a company like this, but they've reached their limit. They want to make money in other ways. They have other IPs to tap into, and there's only so much room you have at the printing press. A lot of other cards get printed there too. You got to kind of space this stuff out, and they've got a very busy print schedule this year. So I'm just saying, if you're one of these Commander players who bought these things and held on, I think you might be surprised in about 12 to 18 months. You might notice a bit of an uptick. You might notice a bit of a popularity thing and a little bit of scarcity. It'll be curious to see how it all plays out, but either way, you're playing with it or you're holding on to it or a mixture of both, these particular decks may see some increases. The Universes Beyond, all those kind of ones because of the price tags attached to them. I'm just saying some of the stuff, the premium product ones, might see better returns than players are expecting right now. So if you were one of those people who pre-ordered, got in there and held on to it, just give yourself a little pat on the back. I think you did a good decision. I think it worked out well for you. And as the rest of these products taper off and the demand dies down, as the money moves on to newer products coming up, and people haven't taken a breath to look back on those products, things happen every day. Surprises everywhere we go. But either way, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me on the channel today. Drop some comments in the comments section. Have you noticed that your store is kind of short on these products? Do they have an abundance of them? I need to know that information. I want to know what you guys are seeing out there in the world, and this is the place we get to share that info. So put some comments down there. Let me know. Oh, and did you pre-order? Which Commander decks are you going to pre-order this year? And which ones did you already grab onto and get a good deal? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me on the channel today. I'm looking forward to another video with you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned. We're going to have a good time. Don't forget, it's a great word salad at the end, really? I almost like coughed. It's a great day. It's a great game. Don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. Shop smart. Shop S-Mart. And of course, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of the channel who make this happen each and every day. Without the Patreon support we have, this daily uploaded content would not be possible. I'm serious. It's not possible. Thanks again, guys. Welcome back to the end. You've made it to the cinematic universe of the Twilight Zone section where we're 470 subs along. It's like getting a tooth pulled really slowly. And you're like, come on, just do it already. Yeah, just so you guys know, here at the end, stores are pretty bitter still. They're keeping a really tight watch on their wallets, man. They're not busting this stuff out. I remember one of the patrons who got broken into, Keith, and that was crazy for those kind of pictures to come across. I mean, people still love Magic, but they broke into the store to steal stuff from his store. That was crazy. I talked to all these other stores, and you see they're just not ordering as much. They're definitely not doing box openings. They're kind of keeping a real tight lid on everything because they're just dissatisfied. So like they've been burned too much. And when you hear that and you put it with management inventory, lower prices, everything leads in one direction. And that's more scarcity, which just drives up equity for Wizards of the Coast to use for their like Masters Series products. Smart play. Smart play if it comes that way. If not, then this was all just a tinfoil hat dream and none of it's true. None of it. Except for maybe Shop Smart, Shop S Smart, Necronomicon, Soldevia Excavations, and all the wonderful things we do when we talk about Magic every day. It's a crazy world we live in. What can you say? Tomorrow's another day. Something new and exciting is going to happen. We have Wolverine coming to Magic. The Hulk, Magneto, Professor X. Who knows what they'll do? But it's exciting to think about it. Guys, loving it, man. I'll see you guys soon. Have an awesome day. And here we are at the end. Wow, is this really the end? I should probably tell you to go clean something. But I'm not going to. You can all take a day off today. I'll see you later.